Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to create process templates in our system MasterPeople platform. Templates are meant to serve as a blueprint for the process of an assessment. In an assessment, you have all the test participants and candidates, but in the templates you preset which tests, norm groups and reports you want to use for a specific type of position. In the template, you can also add the criteria that you will use. You can find your templates on the left-hand side of the dashboard. If you just started using MPP, there may be no templates here yet. It could also be possible that your colleagues have created templates before, and if so, you can see them here. There are a few different approaches when it comes to creating templates, and I thought we'd start with how to create a brand new template. We begin by clicking New here. As you can see, it looks exactly like a new assessment, and I'll start by naming the template. So if we, for instance, frequently recruit salespeople in Sweden, that's what we will name the template. It could be that I also recruit salespeople, for example, in Norway. And in that case, I want to use the Norwegian norm for that template instead of the Swedish one. So in that case, I need to create two templates, one for Norway and one for Sweden, with the same tests, but the different norm groups. While we're here, I'd also like to show you that you can pin your template. If you do that, it will show up on the dashboard so that you can quickly and easily go directly to the template to start working. I'll show you what it looks like shortly, but it's this little button that you press. Now it's time to choose which test we want in the template, and in this case I'm selecting Core and Opto. I can choose as many tests I want as long as your company has a license for them. You can of course also choose one test if that's what you prefer. Now we'll review the settings for these tests by clicking here. Then I'll make sure that what's in these boxes matches what I want. Once I've reviewed the first test, I'll click on the other one to check the settings there as well. In both cases, we've made sure that the participant can download the report immediately after completing the test. Here you can also see that I'm using the Swedish norm for this template. We also want to create a criteria for our salesperson. So we do that by clicking New Criteria here. If we've recruited salespeople before, we can import that criteria by clicking here. And it will be imported. It may also be that you've conducted a behavior analysis using our tool, or perhaps you've done an internal mapping, and in that case you simply input the results here as usual. The same goes for the generic criteria that we at Master have developed. Don't forget to double check that the priority is set correctly. I also back up here to ensure that Opto also have the correct settings. The last thing I do here is check that my criteria is starred. This signals to the system that this is the criteria to use for calculating the percentage match. This is also the match that will be entered into your recruitment system if you have an integration. So it's important that there's a star next to the criteria that you want to use. If you're working via an integration, you need to have a template. So if you don't want to work with a match percentage, you need to create a template with an empty criteria. However, it's still vital that the criteria is included. If you want to screen your candidates, meaning to filter between the first and second test, you need to add that into the template, and you do it like this. Click on your first test, and then click this button and set the dial to 75%, which is a good level. This means that the candidates who match the criteria in the first test by 75% or more will be able to take the second test. If you don't want to screen, you can of course remove this altogether. You can also leave it out from the start. Now I'm done with the template, so I'll go up here and click Done. The new template will then appear at the top of the list, as you can see. Now I'm going to show you how it looks when you've pinned your templates, so let's go to the dashboard. As you can see, my template is now here as a pinned template. If I want to use this template, I go to New and create an assessment. And I can immediately start working in it, publish it, and send out links to the candidates. I can also choose to edit this template if I want something to be changed for this assessment. Another way you can create templates is by using an assessment that you're already working on or have completed. So let's go to the assessment. Let's use this assessment where we are looking for a team leader. I go to the 3 dots on the right under Action, and then click on Save as Template. What happens now is that I'll carry over all the information I had in the assessment, which tests, which criteria, which settings we've used. The only thing we don't transfer are the test participants and their results. In this case, you can see we've used several different criteria in the assessment, and it's very important that we know which one of these that should be our start criteria. So we may also choose to remove the others if we're not going to use them for our template. This is especially important when working with an integration with an ATS. Again, it can be good to review the settings for each test to make sure everything is as it should be over here and on the other test as well. Don't forget to rename the template up here to make it correct. Let's say that this will be a team leader for the US, and in that case we want to make sure that we have the American norm down here. When you're done, click Done at the top and everything will be saved. That's all about how to create and use templates. Thank you for watching.